The Méribel Valley is the central valley in the group of resorts that make up Les Trois Vallées. It's the narrowest and smallest of the valleys, with 71 pistes covering 150 kilometres and a total elevation gain of 1,500 metres. It is still a big resort with a solid mix of trails, a few learning areas and some activation zones to keep the kids entertained. The two large villages of Méribel Centre and Monterey provide an abundance of ski and ski out accommodation in the valley, while Les Alleux and Brie de la Banne add even more lodging options but require a gondola ride to and from the resort.
There are plenty of restaurants and bars in the valley, along with some great après-ski options that bask in the afternoon sun on the left side of the valley. Méribel provides a few gentle calm zones for beginners, some excellent intermediate terrain, and challenging trails for advanced skiers. The central location is a great launching point for exploring Les Trois Vallées. It means the valley is a thoroughfare for skiers from all the resorts. The volume of traffic on a few funnel trails and the lift queues can be frustrating. Even with the huge volume of skiers, Méribel still manages to feel like a calm oasis amongst Les Trois Vallées resorts.
Getting to Méribel is an hour and a half by car from Chambéry, or 2 hours from Grenoble Airport, and a little over 2 hours from Lyon or Geneva for international travellers. Add half an hour if you're using one of the regular coach services from these airports. Alternatively, take the train to Moutier and then a bus up to Méribel. The train option takes about 2 hours more from either Lyon or Geneva.
The coach option reduces changes or transfers and is reasonably quick. This is probably the easiest for groups and families. Check out Altibus for schedules and bookings. A hire car might be quicker, but be prepared to pay the express tolls and make sure you include chains as required by law. If you're staying in Méribel, a car is not needed.
There are ticket offices and toilets at each of the village base areas, although buying ski passes online is quicker, easier, and also provides a small discount. There are restaurants, cafes, and bars in the villages, along with small Carrefour, Shepa, and Spa supermarkets for everyday conveniences.
There are a few on-mountain food options. La Passon provides a mid-mountain venue, and Chalet Tonia is nestled in a bowl. The new teepee restaurant on the western slopes soaks up the afternoon sun. There are restaurant and cafe options in the base areas, making it easy to find something to eat or a place for a few drinks anywhere in the valley.
Let's get to the skiing. Most of the trails are on either side of the valley, with just a couple of reds coming down from Mont Bellon. When conditions are good, there is some enticing off-piste terrain off Mont Bellon. For beginners, there are two learning areas on either side of the valley, Piste des Inuits and Escargot. There are a few green trails in the valley like Rodus, Piertry and Truit for beginners ready to venture onto the slopes, but these trails tend to be traversing tracks and can be busy. For the young ones, there is some fun activation along Speedy Run and Piste des Inuits.
There are more red graded trails than blue, which will suit more confident intermediate skiers. Biche provides a long rolling groomer great for soaking up the morning sun, while Fawn and Choucas are blues with a more northerly aspect. Further up the valley, Citel is a consistent trail, while Lac de la Chambre is one of the main links from Val Thorens, so extremely busy most of the day. Confident intermediate skiers can take Comte du Vallon or Campagnol after enjoying the view from Mont Bellon. Both are long, busy trails with a few steep sections. We found Julie and Contuniet a little less crowded. Across the valley, there are a few rolling reds like Nivigro and Mordouille that are perfect for laying down carving turns in the sunshine.
Advanced skiers will find a handful of black trails spread across the valley, and most tend to be mogul trails. Sanglier provides a short, consistent trail facing the sun. Bourse is more north-facing and has varying pitches, while Yebex, further up the valley, has some challenging steep sections. When conditions suit, those prepared to venture off-piste will find lots of terrain off Mont Bellon and Courbrune lifts.
Snowpark has a good mix of terrain park features and some fun zones like turn and run, for all levels of boarder or skier.
A few things to be aware of for the Méribel Valley. It is possible to buy a lift ticket just for Méribel, which will save you a little money. This will suit beginners not ready to explore, or intermediate or advanced skiers if they plan to stick to the valley. If you want to explore the other valleys, then the full Les Trois Vallées pass will be needed. The resort is busy all year round, and ridiculously busy during the February half-term break, so expect queues at the lifts and company on piste.
During our visit, Mont Bellon lift was busy all morning, while Platier and Solier had solid queues till mid-morning. Expect queues on Pas du Lac and Côte Brune early morning due to patrons moving between the valleys. Snow conditions on the left side of the valley are more sunbaked due to the southwesterly aspect, while on the right the northerly aspect generally makes for better snow. On the lower slopes, the snow next to the marked trails was too thin to risk any piste adjacent skiing.
It's also worth noting the high volume of ski traffic on the trails has the corduroy scraped off early and leads to mini moguls and icy patches on groomed trails. This might challenge intermediate skiers and those with tired legs. Some key linked trails and lifts can be busy late afternoon as skiers return to the valley at the end of the day.
If you can, avoid the Ours Trail, especially if you are a snowboarder. It is a long, winding, flat trail full of traffic. If you venture across to Val Thorens or Courchevel, keep an eye on the time and check when the lifts close. Missing the last lift home can make for a long and expensive trip back. In most cases, it's cheaper to find a room for the night.
There is an incredible amount of lodging in the Méribel Valley. Méribel is a large village with a range of accommodation options, most are ski in, ski out, or a short walk to the slopes. The lower elevation of Méribel Centre means the snow off the main trails can be sketchy, so for Les Trois and Les Alleux, it's often best to ride the gondola down.
Brie de la Bonne provides an option down in the valley, but you'll spend close to half an hour riding the gondola up and dealing with the queues each morning.
In our opinion, Méribel is a great resort for intermediate skiers confident on blues and reds, looking to explore the Trois Vallées resorts. For advanced skiers, there are long rolling groomers asking to be carved up and a few challenging steep trails, plus some enticing off-piste areas if conditions are good. There are limited greens for those starting out, but a few gentle blues for beginners with a little more confidence.
The volume of skiers funneled onto key trails and queues at some of the choke point lifts will frustrate some skiers. But this is the unfortunate part of skiing such a large and popular resort. Even though it's the central resort and a thoroughfare between the other valleys, there is a good mix of trails and terrain, and Méribel manages to retain a surprisingly tranquil vibe. Check out our trail and lift videos to get the most out of your visit to the Méribel Valley.